Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's Uncensored match build-up show. The Reds are taking on Watford this weekend. We're here. That's pretty much the reaction I'm sure everyone at home had when they thought about Watford. Mine actually is this.
Bogged down.
No! Yeah, because we had the misfortune of being at the away game last time. Anyway, it's at home this time, which is nice. Once again, third week on the bounce. Bet Victor doing the golden goal challenge where you pick a player and the minute they're going to score. And this week, it's relevant to us! Liverpool versus Watford is the game. So you actually have to use your Liverpool knowledge for once. Pick a Liverpool player, obviously, and the minute they're going to score. And you can be with a chance of winning £25,000 completely free. We'll do a bit more on this later on in the show. Let's get stuck into it. Kish is here, John Machin's here, and John Reed's here as well. What a team. And that's not just Liverpool, that's just you guys. Be proud of yourselves. You're great people. Please, God, stop. Was that similar to the one you did when you went up on one on the starting 11 last season?
No, I don't think so. But it could have been.
It could well have been the same thing. Chris, it's the last game before the international break. Boo.
I know, it sucks, doesn't it? I mean, I just want to watch Liverpool every single week. I want to watch us twice a week. Yeah. That's the problem. Once a week isn't enough of a fix for this attacking football. So to go then 2 weeks before we play Southampton, is it? It's too long. It's far too long. And the form that we're in at the minute and the fact that, you know, some of the other teams around us have had Champions League football makes me look forward to this game even more because I want to see how Manchester City do. I want to see how Tottenham do, having played European football in midweek. And, you know, I think we'll be well prepared for this game. You know, I do remember that game last season as well, of course, but let's not forget we did them at our place 2-0 last season. Was it Wee Joe and Roberto Firmino, I think, scored the goals, didn't they? And you're looking at I remember the side that we put out that day. There was like Christian Benteke was up top, Shea Ojo was on the wing, Jordan Ibe was on the wing. If that side can beat them 2-0, what can this side do now with the way that we're playing? Yeah, no, it's a very good point. We get, again, theme of the season is about tests, and I think this is the run of games we've got coming up. This game plus post international break, of course, is. Again, it's a whole different type of test. You're looking at those running games. And Southampton, they've been somewhat of a bogey team over the years. Starting with this game, though, given that, as Chris says, the other teams around us will have Champions League football, this is a big opportunity this month for Liverpool to continue to prove themselves and hopefully keep the points ticking up. And by the end of the month, things could look very, very interesting. Yeah. Good, thanks. How you feel about going into this match then?
Pretty good. I mean, you're just in a phase now where you look forward to the game. You know, there's no trepidation. You expect to win games now, which can be a bit dangerous. But I think we've got the beating of Watford.
Yeah. I think we expect. I'm not sure about expecting to win. I expect us to put in a performance, if nothing else. I mean, there probably will be people who expect us to win every game now as a result.
It's difficult to see us getting beat until maybe when we play City. Yeah. And I think that's probably a big danger to actually have that mentality. Really, we should be wary of anyone. Yeah. You know, if you got someone like Troy Deeney, you can score from almost anything, you know, throw it into our box. I mean, he's the kind of guy who would score. Yeah. So you have to be wary, but we play in such great attacking football. You know, I expect that we will score, and I expect we will score more than them. Yeah. It's,
once again, John, with the international break leaving, we said we're never happy because when we lose we go, oh God, wouldn't it have been great to go in on a win, and then when we win we go, oh, it's killing our momentum, but fuck that, I'd rather go into the international break with 3 points and just keep the good times rolling.
Yeah, we've built up ahead of steam, haven't we, since the start of the season, to be honest, at Arsenal, so you don't want to disrupt that by any, I mean, I think it's telling that the only thing that we still seem to talk about is the Burnley game. We don't talk about the United draw and things like that. So I don't want to kill anything. I just keep going and keep the chain moving and hopefully go into it. Potentially, depending on who takes points off the other people around, maybe we could go in top of the league. You don't know, do you? So.
Yeah, no, it's a very good thing. So yeah, it's time to do the Bet Victor golden goal stuff. As ever, we're looking for suggestions for how we're going to spend our winnings. And I know we say this with such certainty. We've not won it yet. But it's Liverpool versus Watford.
We were close.
We were close. Were we close? very close. But because it is Liverpool versus Watford, I feel that we should be best placed to capitalise on that fact. So yeah, the prize this week is £25,000. John, you had a belter of a suggestion in the office earlier.
We said you could buy was it Adidas or Nike? Nike made the self-lacing shoes from Back to the Future, and then we did like a limited run of 500. We could buy some of them just for the sake of having them, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this is less one of the. We were thinking of like ones that are good for the audience. We'll buy us all a pair, and then we'll have a pair to give away to a subscriber. I think that.
And then we can have a race in them.
No, I'll be having them like in a glass case. On a pedestal in a room with lasers and stuff like that.
Well, you'll finish last in the race then.
Well, or maybe I'll finish first. I'll probably finish last either way. What would you like to
spend my 25 grand on?
Not your 25 grand. Redmen's 25 grand.
Some new t-shirts for Tom.
Tom needs some new t-shirts. I think, that's like, so we're talking about like 25,000 new t-shirts for Tom, is that what we're talking about?
Primani's finest.
Nah.
15.
I want to try him in a round neck as well as a V. I want to see how it cuts on him.
Will they all be black then?
All white?
One green.
Think about it, Tom. You can go to River Island.
14,000 white.
Yeah, no.
Do you buy them as white or do you buy them as grey?
No, I'll get them white then, 10 grand.
Back to. I like that. That's any other suggestions? Not at all. No, thanks, that's
I quite like John's one, like the cleaner the other week. I thought that was a good one.
A cleaner for the office. We can pay.
And an office manager.
Yeah, we can.
To open the door.
To open the door, yeah.
Or just a doorbell. No, yeah, an office manager's well better, yeah. And a lift.
Doorbell.
Yeah. I like that. To be honest, I'm disappointed in all of us. These have been largely terrible. Let us know your suggestions on how we would spend 25,000 in the comments below.
Do you want to know how we'd probably spend it? Lucozade Orange.
Yes.
There are other drinks available, but we would probably spend it on Lucozade Orange and baked goods.
I could get behind that. I could get behind just a Lucozade room, a Lucozade Orange room.
You could give everyone a double decker going into the game. Not everyone, obviously. 25,000 is just a bit short.
Yeah, actually saying that if you can get them, if you get them in bulk for like 50, just under 50, 45p each, you could give everyone in Anfield a double decker pretty much.
I think that we'll all share. We pretty much share seats anyway.
You get Twixes and just have one side each.
There we go. We'll buy a Twix for everyone at Anfield for 25.
Make a friend, you know what I mean? I stand next to you.
That's it. Like that. Great.
Might encourage the better atmosphere.
So those of you who watch Social Club will know that Chris and I did our picks.
Yeah.
What did you go for?
Mane 9.
And as a reaction, I went for 7 for me. I don't know why it's a reaction. It's not like it has an impact. Like someone goes, well, guess the number, 947.
946.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's what we've gone for. John, what are you going to go for?
If you go for Deeney,
nah, I'm going to go for Lallana, but I think it'll be probably late in the first half, so I'll say Lallana 33.
Okay. Dan?
Just for karma's sake, Emre Can 23.
Oh, very nice. What? Because it's a shirt. It's a shirt.
No.
Let us know your goal picks in the comments below. You can play along for free. The link will be in the video info. You don't have to deposit to play. You just need to sign up and you can do it. And you can have a stab at £25,000. There you go. Chris, does Alberto Moreno deserve to stay in this side?
no, quite honestly.
No.
Look, he had a good performance the last 2 times he's fielded for us, but James...
Last time he's fielded for us?
Yeah.
Was he in the fielding positions, was he?
No, he's on the field, that's fielding. It's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
If you say so.
So, I think, ultimately, James Milner deserves to keep his place. That's where it boils down to.
That's what the question should be, really. Does Milner deserve to come back in? And the answer to that's yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think this is. I don't disagree. I think obviously Milner's been sensational. We semi-jokingly, but we've been saying he's the best left back in the league so far this season, and he's been great. But I do think it's, given how well Alberto Moreno performed, particularly against the team that you're expecting to beat, I think it gave us a glimpse of what he might be able to offer us in certain situations, and the pace with which he attacked and supported the attack as well. He offered a different dimension to what Milner does. So it wouldn't surprise me. I agree, Milner probably will come straight back in, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Moreno in there.
He can be an option. I mean, I think he was he wasn't our best player in the last match, but he was one of our better players. Yeah. And Watford lately have kind of swapped to playing this 5-3-2 or 3-5-2, whatever way you want to see it. But his pace down that side could be a big outlet for us. Milner tends to play a bit more in like kind of come up into midfield and kind of stay at the halfway line. And he'll go beyond and maybe overlap with Coutinho, but I think the pace Moreno offers, getting them down that flank, could be a way we try and break them down. So it's more of a tactical thing, I think, more than a form thing. But you don't know. I mean, Klopp's not really been definitive on whether it's a meritocracy, has he, or whether you get in and you keep your place and then it's up to the guy behind you to take it back. So.
Well, I think whereas you look at the Emre Can Wijnaldum situation, and then Emre Can's come in, and okay, there's been the timing of it. Maybe Wijnaldum wasn't 100% fit, and Can's had another game. I wonder whether if Milner had missed 2 games, you know, it wasn't quite fit for this game, Moreno probably would start. But that's the big question mark. I suspect Moreno has not had enough time where he's been the only option to prove himself just yet. But you know, I think what's pleasing, Chris, is we know what Moreno's got in him. We know he's got a howler in him. But that being said, I find it pleasing that if he was to start, I'd be far less arsed, given how well he played the other week.
Yeah, I think that's right, isn't it? And you know, we've got to get behind whoever takes the field for us. But ultimately, I just think now that Moreno's put himself in a good situation with the fans as well as Klopp and the rest of his teammates. He's come in, he's had 2 good performances, but you know, I do feel that maybe Deeney would probably look to pick on him a little bit. You know, we've had a tendency when we've played Moreno at left back that people just lump balls at him. Deeney's brilliant in the air. We saw that last season when we went to Watford and Vicarage Road, and you know, Moreno does fairly well actually when he stands up to these long balls and stuff. But I just think that it's something that there's no need for us to invite that type of a pressure on us. I think James Milner would do a lot better. So for me, it's James Milner all day. But as I say, much like you, I'm absolutely fine with Moreno being a backup. I think he's one of the best backup left backs in the league.
Yeah, I can't see anyone else breaking into the side really at the moment, Dad. I mean, there could still be the case to be made that you could rotate Wijnaldum back in if you fancied it, but
well, I mean, I thought he stuck with Chan simply because of who he was playing. And it's a question of whether, again, he sees Watford as being a bit that way as well. You know, a tough side who are maybe good in the air and stuff like that. But, you know, who knows? I definitely thought Wijnaldum would come straight back in, but, you know, Chan played and actually played really well again.
Yeah.
So, you know, going back to Moreno, I think he's still only 1 mistake away from the crowd hating him.
Oh, of course.
So, you know, I think his rehabilitation needs to take a bit longer than the odd EFL game. You know, I think he needs to get a few games under his belt before he's a real challenger for that spot.
But based on that, then is it worth keeping him in the side so he gets that, or are you saying that?
No, I don't think he's ready for it yet. You know, I think he needs maybe once he's had 4 or 5 games, you know, over a period of time where he's not made mistakes and the crowd will think, right, he's okay now.
So what you mean is you're saying those games you're saying games in isolation as opposed to a run of games.
Yeah,
as such.
I think it's more about his rehabilitation with the fans.
Yeah,
because if he makes a mistake, if he plays on Sunday and makes a mistake, the crowd will just really get on his back and think that he's the biggest waste of space ever. And the next time he comes on the pitch, they'll all be moaning at him and all the rest of it. If he has another good game, you know, against Leeds, and then maybe another good game, then the crowd start to forget that he's a liability and start to encourage him.
I'm not sure the crowd will ever forget that about Alberto. We have a very long...
never know.
Yeah, we have a very long memory when it comes to left back mistakes.
I've seen players who've been pilloried every game that came on the pitch, and 2 years later they're everyone's favourite player. Yeah. You know, so...
Joe Allen being the last one of them, I suppose.
Yeah.
You talking about Ronnie Whelan?
Ronnie Whelan was one of them, yeah.
I know. I agree. I just wonder whether someone like Alberto Moreno, I'm not sure you're ever gonna get that out of him. You know, the odd mistake, because I think every fullback's got the odd mistake in them.
But it's not so much that as whether the crowd accept it.
We've got enough in the bank so that we go
well. If he starts affecting the match going forwards more. You know, and he did in his last game, didn't he? If he starts producing that on a regular basis, you'll forgive him the odd mistake at the back. If we're 3-0 up and he makes a mistake, it's absolutely fine. It's when he's making mistakes, they do seem to be crucial. Yeah. And, you know, it's not just the ones that he's been pulled up for, it's the ones that you see and you think, well, that was a clear penalty. I can't believe we got away with that. It's those ones as well that we tend to remember more with him.
But you're right. I think it's about him being as good as he can be at the things that he's good at. Because you look at that Palace game, he could come away with a goal and an assist from that, and that's more than Milner's providing. You know, down that side, albeit I think Milner definitely provides in a much more rounded sense on that side.
Do you think, to some extent as well, it's the other members of the back four that are helping? Because they've had Milner, maybe Moreno was an issue in the sense of defensively he was a bit frail, but having had Milner there for 7-8 games, and now the back four with Matip and Lovren's kind of got its confidence up, and we're kind of defending as a back three where Henderson drops in. Maybe now they feel more comfortable when he goes forward, so it's less of an issue if he's caught short, because they think I can get out there and cover that, or the midfield can cover it for him. So.
It shouldn't be overlooked that Lovren had an absolute stinker as well with Moreno back in the side. Probably just like, oh my God, what have I got to think about? Where's Moreno? What's he doing? What's his position?
Just forget about him. He's gone.
It's gone. It's done. He's doing what he's doing. Nothing you can do about it, Deja. Anyway, I say the team does look pretty set by and large, doesn't it? You can't see too many things. This could be one of the easier starting 11s this week.
Hopefully, again, it's that Chan Wijnaldum thing, because it is. I was with Wijnaldum last week, like your dad. You obviously went with Chan and were right, and I just like Wijnaldum in there, and I'll probably have to err on the side. I'll leave it for the video.
Absolutely,
I'll leave it for the video.
Yeah, go and check that out, of course. There
might be a surprise up top as well.
Sure. What are you gonna
watch the video to find out?
There might be. Dun, dun, dun. There won't be. We were discussing earlier in the week about this point of the season, and how writing agendas for these sort of matches is very difficult, because, with the greatest respect to the opposition, who are higher than Manchester United in the table. Who are higher than
on goals scored.
Thank you very much. Spending Manchester United. There's a temptation to kind of go, well, this is a team we should be beaten. If we don't beat them, well, then we're shit, and blah, 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 blah. There's not much to say about these games, because this is just, these are just a run of games that where, it is a tad disrespectful, and you can lose any game of football, and we are due to lose a game of football. That being said, this month is a month where Liverpool should be looking to capitalise.
It's where everyone's expecting us to sort of stride on, isn't it? But I mean, Watford, last season they were very, very good for a long period of time, particularly early in the season. And although they started weakly this year, they seem to have picked up. So they're not a walkover by any means. We're going to play easier teams than Watford over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
This is one of the tougher ones, certainly one of the tougher ones at home.
Yeah.
So I think they'll give us a game. I don't think we're going to be putting 4 or 5 past, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had a look at their results, actually, because they are doing well in the league.
I wondered what you were looking for.
It was. I remember that they've not really played anyone big in the last few games, and they've got a little bit of head of steam up and stuff. So they beat Hull last week. I'm sure that was an own goal by someone for Hull in about the 82nd minute. Swansea, Watford, drew. They beat Middlesbrough and they drew with Bournemouth, and before that they lost to Burnley, and that's very easy to do.
That's all the best teams lose to Burnley.
They've put a good run together against teams that they should be putting a good run together. It's now on us to do exactly the same.
Yeah, completely agree with that. So should we do some key man predictions, John? What do you think? Who's going to stand out for Liverpool?
I think, again, because they've got this 5-3-2, whatever 5-5, I think Henderson. I think Henderson's going to be key to how we start attacks, and I think it's up to the front 5 maybe to pin them back a bit and keep them in the lap, but then it'll be up to Henderson to kind of feed them the balls they need to get in behind and score goals. So okay. I think him.
Great. Dad?
Close your ears. Firmino.
Okay. I wasn't going to go for that.
Really?
We'll probably go for the same score regardless. I think it's for Coutinho. I think the form that he's been in for the last month is sensational. I think he's going to get an assist in the 9th minute for Sadio Mane, and that will be his key moment of the game for me.
Yeah, for me, because of it's an interesting test to see how we come up against this formation. I do believe that the formation this season was built to kill 4-2-3-1. With them, the potential of that there being five guys in front of us, it wouldn't surprise me if the extra guys from our midfield, whether it's Chan or Lallana, this is one of those games where we could do with one of them stepping up and getting the goal somehow. So albeit I've gone for Firmino as me golden goal scorer, I'd go with an Adam Lallana. or easily which I'm, but because I've got to pick one, I'll go with Adam Lallana. Cropping up, he hasn't scored in a few games, has he? Like, so it'd be nice to get one from him. Score predictions.
I've got to stick with what I said on the Redmen radio. I said 4-0.
4-0.
Wow.
I think there'll be a sense of a test from Klopp. I think he'll say to them, listen, you've put 4 past Palace. One of them was a mistake that anyone could make with Lovren. The other one was a bad goal. Go out there now and get rid of those 2 mistakes and score 4 again. So 4-0.
I like that. I like the logic. Dan?
2-0.
Okay.
I think it's going to be 3-1. I think we concede it. It's kind of what we do, but we score goals. Like, I think Watford are a good side. I think we'll do well to score 3 past them.
I'm all in on a clean sheet this week. I think this is what we need. I think I'll take it. I'll take a 2-0. One in either half. Keep it entertaining. Make sure we actually see a goal from the Kop. That'd be nice. Don't want too many first half goals. How did that go in? Yeah, let's.
Nothing worse.
There we go. Brilliant.
It's every time
I'll watch it on the telly later.
Every time the commentator goes, when you watch the game back, it's like, they love attacking the Kop. It's like, if you sit in the Kop, you don't see that many goals. I don't know why it doesn't feel like you see that many goals.
We've seen a lot of important goals.
Yeah.
With, the European, the Dejan Lovrens and what have you, like, but yeah, when the whole blitzkrieg in the first 15 minutes of a game, when you've won the toss, doesn't work out when you're in the Kop. So yeah, that. But honestly, just a fucking win before the internationals would be lovely. So yeah, one last reminder about the Bet Victor stuff. The link will be in the video info underneath. Completely free to play. Go on, sign up, and potentially win yourself £25,000, and then share some with us because you love us so much. Yeah, thanks very much, gents. Absolutely pleasureful to have fielded all you guys out here today. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Check out the Start 11 Prediction Show and all the post-match content. Ta-da.